Millions fled the streets of Iran, mourning the death of the military commander killed in an American drone strike. Iran's supreme leader weeps over his coffin. The general's replacement vows vengeance this morning, and President Trump promising a swift response, even threatening possible war crimes if Iran strikes back. Martha Raddatz is live in Tehran with the latest.
A mega blaze. The new warning this morning about those out-of-control wildfires in Australia. Rescue crews flying through heavy red smoke. The race to save people, homes, and animals before temperatures climb again. Ginger is live in Australia.
Wicked weather. 8 states on alert as the NTSB investigates this deadly crash. A massive pileup killing at least 5 people.
Facing his accusers. Harvey Weinstein heading to court this morning as his criminal trial gets underway.
The future of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time now uncertain after the Patriots lose their playoff game.
And going for golden. Huge surprises at the Globes overnight. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood winning 3 times. Brad Pitt stealing the show with this titanic message to his co-star.
I would have shared the raft.
Ellen owning the stage.
I knew coming in I would win because
Tom Hanks' teary thanks. And Renee Zellweger's triumphant return. What it all means for the Oscars. We're backstage with last night's big winners right here on GMA.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
It certainly was a golden night. We'll have more on that ahead, but it's a very busy Monday morning. The crisis growing with Iran following that U.S. drone strike that killed Iran's top military commander.
Millions of people taking to the streets of Iran to pay their respects to General Soleimani. And take a look, an ominous sign, this red religious flag raised over a mosque in Iran, a symbolic call to arms.
That is a vow of vengeance. As President Trump touched down in Washington overnight, the fallout is spreading. Iran has announced they will no longer honor the 2015 nuclear agreement. They're going to ramp up nuclear production. The Iraqi parliament voted to push U.S. troops out of that country, and President Trump is pushing back with threats of economic sanctions against Iraq and possible war crimes against Iran. All this as a terror group loyal to al-Qaeda killed 3 Americans on a military base in Kenya.
So much. Our team is spread out from Washington to Iran. Martha Raddatz is there, starting us off with the latest. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. I have been in the midst of anti-American protests in Iran before, but nothing like this. A powerful combination of grief and anger with shouts of death to America echoing through the streets around us. This morning, mourners filling the streets of Iran's capital of Tehran for the funeral of General Soleimani, killed by that U.S. drone strike last week. Aerial images capturing the sea of Iranians packing the streets to pay tribute to a man revered by many here.
Trump made a big mistake. He killed our hero.
Soleimani's image everywhere. The impact of his death profound. The crowds are massive and emotional. There are many tears here, many signs with Soleimani's picture on them, but the message is also very clear. These people want revenge.
Are we human or not?
As we made our way through the streets of Tehran, people surrounding us, shouting death to America.
We will have very hard revenge of Mr. Trump.
Inside the funeral service, the emotion just as powerful. The supreme leader of Iran weeping and praying over a coffin draped in the Iraqi flag. This is the largest funeral in Iran since the death of the Ayatollah Khomeini in 1989. Today, calls for jihad. Members of the Iranian parliament also chanting death to America. And a red flag symbolizing a declaration of war raised above an Iranian mosque on Saturday. Soleimani's replacement as head of the Quds force calling for revenge. The leader of Iranian-backed Hezbollah saying American soldiers and officers will be going home in coffins. And Soleimani's own daughter making a televised plea with Hezbollah to take revenge for the blood of her father. This morning, the Iranian government announcing they're suspending commitments to the 2015 nuclear deal abandoning limits on enriching uranium and stockpiling nuclear fuel. This as Iraq has now voted to expel all American troops and submitting a complaint against the U.S. for violation of sovereignty to the United Nations. Just 6 months ago when we were here, some people were critical of their leaders because of the effect of American sanctions. But today, for now at least, they are united against America. Robin?
And Martha, as you know, we're already sending an additional 4,500 troops to the region. You kind of alluded to it earlier when you started your piece in saying you've never had this sense being there in Iran before like this, what's going on the ground. Well, exactly. I don't think people here want an all-out war, but they do want revenge for the death of Soleimani. But the next move is all up to Iran. Robin? Okay, Martha, thank you.
It's so hard to calibrate. And as all this is unfolding in Iraq and Iran, an African terror group which pledges allegiance to al-Qaeda attacked a U.S. military base in Kenya. One American service member, 2 Defense Department contractors were killed in the attack. Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility. And in the face of these new threats, President Trump is lashing out with new threats of his own, taking on Iran and Iraq, taunting Congress. Cecilia Vega is at the White House with the latest. Good morning, Cecilia.
George, good morning to you. President Trump has repeatedly said that he does not want to see endless wars in the Middle East, but this latest threat brings us closer than ever to conflict with Iran. And Democrats want to know why now, and they are demanding to see evidence of the White House's claim that this strike on Soleimani was in response to an imminent threat. This morning, President Trump is back at the White House and threatening a swift and potentially disproportionate response if Iran retaliates. But despite the escalating tension, the president and his aides insist killing Qasem Soleimani was the right move.
It's very clear the world's a safer place today. Qasem Soleimani no longer walks the planet.
The president also threatened to target 52 Iranian sites, some of them important to Iran and the Iranian culture, if Tehran strikes back. A potential international war crime and violation of the Geneva Convention. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in damage control mode.
Why is the president threatening Iran with war crimes?
Yeah, we'll behave lawfully. We'll behave inside the system. We always have and we always will.
But just hours later, President Trump saying the exact opposite, telling reporters, quote, "They're allowed to kill our people, they're allowed to torture and maim our people, and we're not allowed to touch their cultural site. It doesn't work that way." The New York Times reporting military leaders were stunned when President Trump decided to kill Soleimani, top brass viewing his death as the most extreme option they presented to the president. And according to the paper, initially President Trump did not take it, but he changed his mind after seeing news reports of Iranian-backed attacks on the American embassy in Baghdad. Some Democrats lashing out, saying the White House has yet to provide proof of its claim that Soleimani's death was in response to an imminent threat.
Look, everybody knows that Soleimani was a very bad, despicable guy. There's no debate there. But the claim of an imminent threat, they have not supported.
Any military action requires congressional notification. But President Trump now says his tweets should serve as formal notice to lawmakers.
It's President Trump raising his middle finger at the Congress.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi announcing the House will vote on a resolution this week to limit the president's military actions in Iran, calling the attack that killed Soleimani provocative and disproportionate. And now President Trump is threatening Iraq, telling reporters overnight that if Iraq goes through with this parliamentary vote to remove foreign military from the country, he will make them repay the billions he says it costs to build an air base there. He says we are not leaving unless they pay us back. And George, quote, "We will charge them sanctions like they've never seen before."
So, Cecilia, in Congress right now, Nancy Pelosi, you said, is going to be pushing for a vote to forestall any new military action. You have Democrats also continuing to raise questions about that intelligence, whether it really showed an attack was imminent.
Yes, so far, George, the administration has insisted on keeping its reasoning for this strike on Soleimani classified. We are now hearing from 2 top Senate Democrats who are calling on the president to immediately and completely declassify this information. It's Chuck Schumer and Bob Menendez. They're writing, quote, "An entirely classified notification is simply not appropriate in a democratic society." We heard the same thing from Pelosi over the weekend. She called this highly unusual,
Yeah,
George.
it does not happen in the face of a public attack like this. Cecilia Vega, thanks very much. Amy?
George, concerns are obviously growing about the threat right here at home. Homeland Security announcing over the weekend the agency is in a, quote, enhanced security mode. Pierre Thomas joins us now from Washington. And Pierre, DHS issuing a very serious bulletin in response to the killing of the Iranian general.
Amy, good morning. That's right. A stark new bulletin was issued to U.S. law enforcement over the weekend. It's blunt, stating, quote, Iran and its partners such as Hezbollah have demonstrated the intent and capability to conduct operations in the United States. And while no specific plot has been identified, the bulletin pointedly says, quote, an attack in the homeland may come with little or no warning. The bulletin also warns that homegrown radicals may try to take advantage of this tense moment, Amy.
And Pierre, the bulletin also specifically mentions a cyber threat from Iran.
Amy, the bulletin does emphasize potential Iranian cyber attacks, and we also learned on the night of the attack against the Iranian leader, federal cybersecurity officials reissued a warning about Iran to industry and government agencies. Iranian hackers are quite good at convincing employees to click on links in emails that may look like they're from colleagues or friends, and using that to gain access to take over computer networks. This could lead to problems like denial of service attacks against banks, where customers are blocked from accounts, and there could potentially be disruptions of power, Amy.
All right, Pierre Thomas with the latest from D.C. And of course, we will continue to keep you updated on this all morning long. We're also following a lot of other stories. In fact, take a look at this. An investigation is underway into a deadly pileup along the Pennsylvania Turnpike. At least 5 people were killed, another 60 were injured. The Pennsylvania State Police say early Sunday morning, a bus lost control just southeast of Pittsburgh. Then 2 semis crashed into it. A passenger vehicle was also involved. Weather was below freezing at the time, and investigators believe that played a role in the crash.
Yeah, such a horrible crash. We're going to turn now to that devastation in Australia, where thousands of firefighters and first responders are battling unprecedented wildfires. At least 24 dead, more than 12 million acres destroyed. Ginger is on the scene in Balmoral, Australia with the latest. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, George. The people that lived inside this home say they were 30 seconds from becoming a statistic. They had actually put in fire-resistant glass. That's what I'm holding here, just a twisted mess. The metal all twisted. Their home, they said, was just hit by fireballs that just came down and melted it in an instant. I want you to look at this map because that's the map of Australia over the weekend when 200 fires were burning. Just to give you the scope of this, if you put that superimposed on the United States, that would be like fires burning from California to Pennsylvania, Wisconsin to Florida. An unprecedented and early start to fire season here in Australia. Helena Wong and Justin Cam barely made it out of the fire alive.
The total disorientation, your entire life. You know, you feel as though it's yanked out from under you.
That is how thousands of people in Australia feel today. The skies over parts of their nation turned blood orange. So far, 24 people have been killed. We knew the wildfires in California were huge in 2018. And last year, the fires in the Amazon were even bigger. But since September, the fires here in Australia have already burned more than 3 times both those events combined.
I asked experts what makes wildfires different here, and it really comes down to the types of trees. We have pines and firs, but here it's all eucalyptus trees, and the eucalyptus oil inside is extremely flammable. Right behind me, a sea of those flammable trees that were extra parched from a driest year on record and the hottest year on record.
More than 4,500 firefighters and support personnel are trying to stop the blazes, including 77 brought in from America. 21 more arriving today.
And they're going to go for a few more months at least.
Even the skies over parts of New Zealand splattered with haze and that orange glow. But this morning, it's Australia's animals who are some of the hardest hit.
There's estimates of hundreds of millions of Australian native species have been killed as a result of this devastating fire.
Reports that as much as half of the island's koala population has been wiped out. The Taronga Zoo in Sydney taking in koala evacuees.
A dozen koalas in here rescued.
That's right.
And this is quarantine, so.
This is a quarantine area, so we're obviously keeping these animals isolated from the rest of the zoo collection.
So we are inside the quarantine where 12 koalas were rescued by Science for Wildlife. Now you have to look right over here. You can see that these females actually have joeys with them. So it was a population they'd been watching for some time. They knew that the fire could potentially take out their habitat, and it did. So it was a good thing they got them out when they did.
Now, climate change, arson, and land management are all issues that experts and locals are telling me came together to make this supercharged season. Speaking of the season, we should have just been getting into it. They've still got 2 peak months to go through February. And even though the weather was cooler, a little wetter, and certainly going to be cloudier the next 2 days, by Thursday, Friday, that heat and the extreme low humidities return. Guys.
My goodness, the scale of the fire is just staggering.
It is.
And we're going to have a lot more on those wildfires, how you can help. That's coming up in our next hour.
So many of our viewers have been asking how they can help, and Ginger's going to let you know. But now we're going to turn to the questions growing about Tom Brady's future. His New England Patriots knocked out of the playoffs, ending a season much earlier than he's used to, and also potentially ending his Patriots career. He is a certain future Hall of Famer, 6-time Super Bowl champ. Paula Ferris is here with much more on this. Good morning, Paula.
Good morning, you guys. He's been playing since the turn of the century. It is hard to imagine an NFL or a New England Patriots team without Tom Brady. He has 3 options right now. He can re-sign with New England, play for another team, or he can retire, but that last option seems highly unlikely. This morning, it could be the end of an era as questions swirl about whether or not this interception was the final throw of Tom Brady's career in New England.
Brady's pass is intercepted and returned for a touchdown.
The Saturday night upset to the Tennessee Titans abruptly ended the Patriots season, leaving the 42-year-old on uncertain ground as an unrestricted free agent, meaning Brady could retire, be re-signed by the Patriots, or head to another team for the first time in his career. Brady says don't count him out just yet.
Is there any possibility that you would retire after this last season?
I would say it's pretty unlikely, but yeah, hopefully unlikely.
And the always tight-lipped coach Bill Belichick not tipping his hand.
They're all questions that need to be answered at some point in time by the organization, by myself, by the coaching staff, by some of the players.
For nearly 20 years, Brady and Belichick have built one of the greatest sports dynasties of all time, winning 6 Super Bowls. But this season, Brady's stats have fallen, throwing only 24 touchdowns, the fewest he's thrown since 2006 while playing a full schedule. And at 42, he's one of the oldest quarterbacks in NFL history, where the average age for a starting QB is about 30. Still, some sports analysts say Brady's not the one to blame.
The talk is, oh, it's time to get rid of Tom Brady. What? How about you get rid of everybody else? Get this man some receivers and let's see what happens.
Wherever he goes, if he's going to be the Patriots quarterback and finish out his career, get this man some help.
You know, Brady has long maintained that he wants to keep playing until he's 45, which would give him 3 more seasons. So the Patriots have until mid-March to re-sign him. If they do not, then Tom Brady officially becomes a free agent for the first time in his career. He's been in the league for 20 years. You're going to hear a lot of names: LA Chargers, Colts, Steelers.
I've heard a lot about the Chargers, so it's a possibility.
May happen.
I know, but gosh, I mean,
It's hard.
I know, he's won 6 titles for you. Oh.
What have you done for me lately?
Okay, I said that earlier in the piece. You stole it from me.
I stole the line from Robin.
Thank you, Paul. We're finding a lot of other stories this morning, including big night at the Golden Globes. Brad Pitt, Renee Zellweger had a big night. We're going to tell you what it could mean for the Oscars.
And look who's here. These Jeopardy champions are facing off to see who's the greatest of all time. But first, let's go to Rob.
Hey, Rob, a little snow in Stevens Pass. Time now for your Select Cities, brought to you by Ancestry.
It's amazing what you can uncover with your DNA results from Ancestry. I was able to discover one cousin, reached out to him, visited Ireland, met another 20 cousins. They took me to the Cliffs of Moher, the ancestral home, the family bar. It really gives you a sense of connection to something that's bigger than yourself.
Greater details, richer stories. And now, with Health Insights, get your DNA kit at Ancestry.com.
And good Monday morning to you. Your next weather maker more than 24 hours out, and that means your day today is going to be rather quiet. In fact, some sunshine for us today, breezy sunshine. Starting out in the 30s, we'll hit the mid-40s by around noon, recess time for the kids, and then about 52 degrees around 3 p.m. today. Now tomorrow, this next weather system giving us low to minimal impacts with a mixture of rain and snow. Noon to 6 p.m., this area in pink. Any snow accumulating on grassy areas in the blue, Winchester and Hagerstown tomorrow.
Welcome back, George.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it. Spin. Spin. Uh-oh. Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame.